Hello, everyone. So today's lesson is writing the background of the study. So before we proceed with the discussion, let me just remind you about the topics that we have discussed so far in person and in GC, as I sent you several videos and also learning activity sheets since the classes were suspended for several days already. So the first lesson that we had for the first quarter was the technical terms used in research. That was the time that we still have um, a lot of time having class discussions in person. So yun yung nasa module, yung mga may mga meaning, for example, methodology, variable. So that was in the module, and also there are pictures sent in your GC as well for that particular lesson. The second lesson was technical and operational definitions had uh, that we also had discussed in the classroom since that time we still have in-person classes, okay? And also the visual for that particular lesson was sent in your GC. After the technical and operational definitions, we also have a discussion on expanded definition. For some classes, I think except Duhat, I was still able to like explain it in person kasi we still had classes that time. Also, there was a visual for that. I think that was sent in your GC. If wala naman, then I'll just send rather the visual for that particular lesson. And then the third lesson is writing definitions using correct grammar, right? And the visual for that lesson was already sent as well in your GC. I think that was the recent one that I sent in your classroom GCs. And then this will be the last lesson in the fourth quarter. Actually, the last lesson is making a research report. Okay, so basically the last lesson supposedly for the fourth quarter is you writing talaga the entire research paper. However, with the amount of time that we have, less than a month na lang ay mag-end na ang school year. And I think you already know, your advisors already announced to you that the class, no, or I mean the fourth quarter periodical exams will be on May 16 and 17. So, counting the days, hindi talaga feasible makagawa ng isang full-blown research report. So, later on, I will explain to you what you will be doing in my class as your final output slash your performance task na rin. Okay? Wait lang, nag-aaway yung mga cats ko. Alright, now going back to our lesson for today, writing the background of the study. Alright, let's proceed. Okay, so the background of the study slash or the introduction part of your paper. Um, I know that in my other classes, in Pili, in Duha, I mean not Duhat, in Pili, in Bani and Banaba, you guys already have a copy of the sample paper, right? So um I also am expecting that you already have GCs with your research group mates. So kung ikaw man yung may hawak ng photocopy ng research, might as well create an album sa GC ninyo na nandun yung mga nasa sample na paper. For Duhat, I think I will be sending it sa class officers and sila na mag-distribute per group, okay, ng soft copy ng picture ng paper na yon para ma-visualize niyo siya na ganito yung itsura niya sa actual na papel. Alright? So, I want you guys to imagine that you're watching a suspenseful movie trailer. And I want you to relate it to, you know, as if writing the background of study. The background of your research paper actually is like that movie trailer. We watched movie trailers because we wanted to like have an overview about the movie that we're excited to watch. We watch movie trailers because we wanted to have like a sneak peek of what's going to be in the movie. Basically, that's how the background of the study functions, okay? Like that trailer, giving viewers a taste of what's to come. Okay? Parang ganun din yung function ng background of the study. To elaborate, No, a movie trailer, when we watch a movie trailer, a good movie trailer hooks you in with key plot points, introduces the main characters, and builds anticipation for the film. The background of your study also no, introduces your research topic, explains why it is important or interesting, and gives your reader a sneak peek at the information that you'll be presenting in the paper. So just like a movie trailer, the background of the study gives an overview about what's inside your paper, what are the things that you're going to discuss in the paper. So nabibigyan niya ng it's like pinapakilala niya yung papel mo, 'di ba? From the word itself, introduction, it introduces your paper. So, meaning if it introduces your paper, this is the part where you explain to your readers what is it that you're studying, what are the concepts in your paper that they need to understand in order for them to make sense of the entire study. Kasi without them understanding what is it that you are talking about, what is the main topic of your paper, they will not understand what you're saying in your research or in your study. Okay. So, how do we write the background of the study? Okay, so here's how you do it. In this part of your research, you will need your skills in in-text citation. Okay, both the parenthetical and narrative format, it's up to you what format you're going to use. Because just like what I said to you, the reason why there are two formats in in-text citation, remember, in-text citation is different from the reference list. Okay? In-text citation, ito yung mga parentheses, tapos binabanggit yung names ng authors habang part siya ng sentence. The reference list is a separate, I'm sorry, the reference list is a separate list that you will see at the end of the paper, collating all the sources that you mentioned in the paper. So, yung mga nakabanggit doon sa loob ng papel, nandun din sila sa reference list. Okay. And you know for a fact, no, in our class discussion, I taught you this, no, in class. Sayang at hindi pa tayo nakapag-quiz. Maybe after this week, magkakaroon tayo ng long quiz. Included doon yung citation format. Okay, yung in-text na tinuro ko sa classroom. Alright, going back. So, the reason why there's two formats in writing in-text citations, the parenthetical one and the narrative one. The parenthetical is the type of in-text citation that you will see at the end of the sentence. The narrative in-text citation is the type of in-text citation that you'll see at the beginning of a sentence or maybe in the middle as part of the grammatical structure. Now, always remember that all the sources you cited in your background of the study should also be reflected in your reference list. Okay. Now, maybe you'll ask why. Why is it that I need my skills in citation, especially in text citation, in writing the background of the study? Okay. Why? Why do you need your skills? Okay. The first thing that you have to have in mind is that in writing the background of a study, what you do is you are explaining the concept of your topic to your readers. And you can do that by citing credible sources that talks about, that gives information about the concept that you're discussing in your study. And when you do that, just like what I said in the classroom, when you mention people in your study, you have to cite them accordingly. When you look for information that is not purely yours, that is not your idea, when you look for information coming from another person's idea or another person's work, the right thing to do is to cite that person, to mention that person, to credit that person. Hence, you need your skills in citation. So, here's how you write your background of the study. I gave you like a format, okay, for you to follow. But again, remember that this is not applicable to all papers, okay? Because each researcher has different ways on how to explain their topic. Ito, ginawa ko lang siyang guide para at least uniform kayo ng number of paragraphs, uniform kayo ng susundan. But baka magulat kayo sa senior high or sa college na wala ng first, second, third paragraphs at kung ano ilalagay mo doon. Kasi, to be honest, depende naman talaga yun sa researcher. But in your case, I gave you a pattern for you to follow for the sake of uniformity and para rin guided kayo. Alright, now let's talk about writing na, the background of study. So, in the format that I suggested, so in the first paragraph, provide the global context about your topic or about the concepts in your paper. So what you will need to do is you will need to look for backgrounders, okay, meaning credible sources, uh, articles, researches, journals published by people that explains or provides information about your topic on a global scale. Okay, so ano yung mga sinasabi na about your topic internationally? Okay, global nga eh. So yun yung mga hahanapin mo, right? In your case, sa research ninyo, I'll allow you to look for maybe 1 to 2 um sources that talks about or that talk about your topic on a global scale. Kasi first paragraph lang naman yan. Alright. So, in order for you to like imagine what the first paragraph looks like, ito yung sample. It's also written as well in the photocopy na binigay ko sa inyo. Then ko yan kinuha. Alright. So, ano ang itsura ng isang paragraph na nag-e-explain ng global context? Sabi ko nga kanina, ano bang ibig sabihin ng global context? Maghanap ka ng mga sources na nagsasabi ng information about your topic internationally. Ano ang sitwasyon ng topic mo on the international scale, okay? Across different countries, all right? So here's the title. I want you guys to notice this one. Here's our title, A Coordination Study on the Depression, Literacy, and Personal Depression Stigma of Selected Grade 10 Students in Novaliches High School. So we have here our main, of course, our main variable, our main concept in our study is depression, okay? So here is how we wrote a paragraph explaining our concept on a global scale, sabi dito. According to World Health Organization, depression is the most common mental health disease globally. An estimated 3.8% of the entire population experience depression. Ito po yung aming citation. Ayan siya. Parenthetical citation yung ginamit namin. If you notice, no, in this paragraph, pinag-uusapan yung depression sa buong mundo. Like, ano ang sitwasyon ng depression? Ano yung kalagayan ng depression in terms of internationally, like sa buong mundo, kamusta ang usapin about the depression? That's how you will do the first paragraph. So, I remembered like some of your titles, ay about AI, about Grammarly, for example, about, may iba naman, about classroom facilities o kamusta ang classroom facilities sa buong mundo. Like, may mga nagsabi ba ng mga articles, ng mga researches na may kakulangan din sa ibang bansa, not just in the Philippines. O for example naman, your topic is about establishment of the um, third gender bathrooms or comfort rooms, no? Meron na bang mga schools internationally na nag-implement ng ganitong klase ng project? Meron na bang mga bathrooms designated for the third genders or comfort rooms designated for the third genders in these countries or sa particular na bansa na ito outside the Philippines? Pwede yon. O sa ano naman, say social media, like globally, how many students are using social media, mga ganong klase ng information. Kasi nga, global context, di ba? So, maghahanap kayo ng mga sources that talks about your topic, that says something about your topic on a global scale outside the Philippines. Okay, why are we doing that? Because we want to establish that this issue isn't just existing in the Philippines. It also exists in other countries or globally. This is an issue that needs to be addressed. Okay? Parang pinapatunayan mo na dapat lang pag-aralan mo tong topic na to kasi hindi lang siya nag-exist sa Philippines, kundi nag-exist din siya in other parts of the world. So, maganda ang study mo, 'di ba? Dapat lang siyang pag-aralan kasi meron kang basihan kung bakit siya kailangang pag-aralan. That's what you're establishing in your background of the study actually. What else? By the way, itong nakikita nyo na according to the World Health Organization, blah, 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 ito pong paragraph na ito ay hindi po yan yung original na wording from WHO. Okay? Yan po ay paraphrased na version. Remember what I said to you last time? Kapag kumuha ka ng, say, sinabi ng isang source, kukunin mo yon, okay? Pero bago mo ilagay sa papel mo, i-paraphrase mo muna. How do you paraphrase? Ikikwento mo siya using your own words. Kaya nga paraphrase You are going to rephrase the original words of the original author. Use your own words, put it in your paper, tapos lagyan mo ng citation. That is what you should do. Okay? Alright. So remember ha, yung nakikita nyong sample paragraph ngayon ay hindi po yan nilagay dyan na gamit yung original wordings from the source, which is the World Health Organization. Yung nilagay po dyan ay naka-paraphrase na. So yung paragraph na yan, paraphrase na po yan. Okay, next. So, done with the first paragraph. Again, in writing your first paragraph, you should again look for sources that talks about your issue or the concept in your paper in an international or global scale. Now, in the second and third paragraphs, dito naman papasok yung national context. Okay? Done ka na sa global/international context. Dito naman sa pangalawa mo, mag-focus ka naman national sa Philippines, okay? Na hindi lang sa Quezon City, hindi lang sa Nova High, pero sa Pilipinas, in other parts of the Philippines, okay? Look for backgrounders, credible sources that explains or provides information about your topic on a national scale. Let me show you an example. Okay? Okay. Sabi dito, in the recent data presented by the Department of Health, 3.3% or 3.3 million Filipinos experienced depression. In 2021, the University of the Philippines Population Institute, or UPPI, conducted the Young Adult Fertility and Sexuality Study. Through the study, it was found that 1.5 million Filipino youths have tried committing suicide. In addition to this report, UPPI stated that only 11% of the youth are aware of any suicide prevention program or services offered by several institutions. This is from the study of INES in 2019. So sabi dito in the second, third paragraphs, no, national context. So I want you to observe the paragraph. Ang focus na dito, hindi na international. Like, anong nangyari sa ibang bansa? Ang focus niya dito, Pilipinas na. Okay, ganun lang. Hahanap kayo ng source that talks about your concept or the topic in your study sa Philippines na this time. Like may study si Clues in 2021 talking about Grammarly, for example. No, the use of Grammarly in studying in the Philippines. You can use that. Kasi nga, second to third paragraphs, national context. Remember again, this is from INES in 2019, but these wordings, ito nakikita niyong paragraph, hindi yan yung original na words na ginamit ni Ines sa kanyang study. Ito po ay nirephrase na namin. We used our own words in writing this paragraph. Okay? You have to remember that all the time. Do not just copy-paste from your source and attach your citation. That's not how you do it. Read your source, get the text that you want to include in your paper, paraphrase, rephrase the text, put it in your paper, and then put the citation. That's how you should do it. You understand? Okay. So, let's go back to the example that I'm showing to you right now. Remember, our study is about depression, and this is a source that we got that we think is relevant, no, that we can include in our background of study so as students will understand what we are talking about here. So remember, our focus in is depression and also stigma, and part of the stigma, part of why people have negative connotation on depression is of course the context of its effects. So, sinama namin dyan itong article na to. Okay? Magkaiba-iba tayo ng ilalagay kasi nga magkaiba-iba kayo ng title. Remember, ha? Alright. So, second, third paragraphs, national context. Okay, next. is, ayan. O, ito pa, another example of paragraphs. Kasi pangalawang paragraph to, ayan, yung kay Ines, this is the third paragraph. This naman came from the Department of Education in 2020. Sabi dito, at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Department of Education released several memorandums that aim to place priority on the protection and promotion of the mental health and general welfare of all learners and personnel. So, ayan. Okay, so national context. Ayan. Kasi nga, buong Pilipinas yan ang tinutukoy dyan. Okay, next. Fourth, fifth paragraphs. Ayan, sabi dyan, what is up with your local setting? In your case, your local setting is of course Nova High kasi all the settings in your study ay puro Novaliches High School. This time, you will not look for backgrounders anymore, okay? It will be you who will explain this part of your paper based on your observations and experiences in Nova High. Explain the issues or problems that you have observed, experienced in Nova High. Explain the reason why you chose to study that topic. Okay, say your topic is about the facilities in school. What have you observed in Nova High in terms of facilities? Do we have um, conducive classrooms? Do we have a lot of facilities that students enjoy? Are we equipped with those facilities? Do you have the facilities? Do we have the necessary facilities in the classroom that are for the students or for the teachers to use, for example? Or say your topic is about social media. Like, what have you observed in Nova High? Uh, do you do you know students who use social media in their in terms of studying? Like, how many students are using social media sites in studying? How many students are distracted in studying because of social media, for example? Or if your topic naman is about financial problems or family problems, like, what have you observed in Nova High? Do you know people who are experiencing these problems? What about their studies? Do these problems affect your studies as per your observation, or you yourself as a student, do you have any experience about having these issues that you think are distracting you from your study? So ikaw na ang magsasalita diyan, okay? And also in this part, you have to explain the reason why you opted to study about that topic. Like, what made you study about AI? What made you study about the establishment of third gender bathrooms? What made you study about the instances in catcalling in Nova High? Like, what urged you? Explain mo dyan. And in explaining, I want you to remember, okay, that in writing or in explaining, do not use, ay nakalagay dyan, do not use the first person pronouns, I, we, or us. Okay? Do not say, we saw students in Nova High that used Grammarly in their essays. Do not say I, do not say we, do not say us. Rather, use the term the researchers and the third person pronouns they, their, them to address to yourself. So, the researchers noticed, the researchers experienced, the researchers saw, the researchers observed. So you call yourself the researchers instead of using we, instead of using I, instead of using us. So the researchers, they saw, the researchers, them, the researchers, there. Okay? Hence, the researchers aim to determine the relationship between literacy and personal depression. They believe that addressing literacy and stigma will provide immense help curb the alarming rate of mishandling, depressive disorders, and suicide. As you can see, ang tawag namin dito sa sarili namin in our paper, in the sample paper, is we call ourselves the teacher researchers or the researchers, and we use the third person pronouns. Alright? Okay, so that's how you do it. Itong paragraph na ito, the third and fourth paragraphs. Number one, observe mo kung ano yung nakita mo sa Nova High. Number two, ikwento mo yung dahilan kung bakit yan ang napili mong topic. Gamit ang sarili mong words this time. Wala ka ng citation kasi kayo na tong nagsasalita dito bilang yung researchers. Kayo yung mas nakakaalam kung bakit nyo pinag-aralan yung topic ninyo. It's you who decided to study about the topic. Okay? Now, for your performance task in English, it will be the background of the study na written. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, bawat group magpapasa ng 5 paragraphs. Kasi nga, how many paragraphs yon? First paragraph, global context. Second, third paragraphs, ano nga yan? First paragraph, global context. Second paragraph, national context. Third, fourth paragraphs, local. And then fifth will be, ay, teka, balikan natin ha. Wait, para clear lang. Sorry. Okay, balik tayo ulit. First paragraph, global context. Second, third paragraphs, national context, di ba? Ibig sabihin, pag national context, 2 paragraph dapat. Okay? Fourth, fifth paragraph, eto na yung sa local setting ninyo. So, 1 paragraph for global, 2 paragraphs for national, 2 paragraphs for your local setting, and the reason why you opted to study about the topic. Okay? So, total of 5 paragraphs per group. Remember what I kept on reminding you, do not copy-paste from your source. Kahit na isang sentence lang yung kinopya mo, that means you still copy-pasted it. Before you put it in your paper, ikwento nyo muna gamit yung words ninyo. Use your own words. Replace the original words of the original author before you put it in your paper, and then i-attach nyo yung citation. Lagyan nyo ng citation. And you know what the format is. I already taught you. Okay? So, ano ba ang final output na hihingiin ko in English? So, this will be your final. Sa ibang section, research report. Okay? Or what do they call? Research capsule. Para sa akin kasi, mahirap yon. It's not feasible dahil sa kulang na sa time. Pwede naman ako magpapasa nun, pero I'm 100% sure na dahil hindi siya ganun ka-feasible with the resources and with, of course, all the suspensions na, class suspensions na mangyayari pa in the next coming weeks, no? Ay matetempt na lang kayo na mag-submit ng putyo-putyo na output or matetempt kayo na mag-plagiarize. So, I don't want that. Ito lang ang output niya sa akin, very simple. Yung background of the study ninyo na may 5 paragraphs, plus yung ginawa nyo last time na definition of terms, plus reference list. Kasi dahil gumawa kayo ng background of the study, of course, magkakaroon kayo ng reference list kasi yung mga binanggit nyo doon na sources, dapat mag-appear din sila sa reference list, right? Okay? So, need nyo munang ipasa sa akin itong si background. Okay, sa email ko, leader na lang magsasend. Kasi nga, I will be giving feedback pa dito. Okay? Para i-correct nyo yung mga kailangan nyong i-correct. Pagbalik sa inyo ng papel ninyo, pwede nyo na siyang i-polish. Ako ang magbibigay ng format. Magsisend ako ng soft copy sa mga leaders. Okay? Tapos, yung soft copy na yun na yung gagamitin nyo kung saan nyo i-encode yung study ninyo. Nandun na yung tamang font size, tamang font na gagamitin. May title page na rin doon. Okay? Kasi nga, aside from, of course, your background of study, dapat meron kayong number 1, may title page kayo. Tapos yung content niya will be your background of study plus definition of terms. Okay, nakalagay dito, naka-emphasize. Those who will commit plagiarism will automatically receive a grade of 75 in English. Non-negotiable yan. If you committed plagiarism, automatically, I will give you 75. Bakit? Kasi I kept on reminding you that do not ever plagiarize. I simplified your output. Hindi na ako actually magpapagawa ng research capsule kasi I think it's not feasible, and again, it will only tempt you to plagiarize, to commit plagiarism, or to pass like say a haphazard na output, and I don't want that. I want your output to be of quality. So ito lang ang hihingiin ko, the background of the study plus the definition of terms. This one, yung definition of terms, actually we're done doing it last time, di ba? I-encode nyo na lang. But remember what I am looking for. I am not looking for the technical definition of terms, but I am looking for the definition, operational definition of terms na kayo mismo nag-define using your own words. Kaya pinagsabihan ko yung mga nagpasa ng definition of terms na gumamit ng dictionary kasi hindi nga yung hinihingi ko. Okay? I do not want your definitions to come from a source galing sa Google, galing sa ganito. Kailangan kayo ang mag-define ng mga concepts sa study ninyo because you guys are the researchers. You know how you use those terms in your paper. Okay, na-discuss na natin yan. So, yon. Ito lang hinihingi kong output. And how do I know? How will I know if you committed plagiarism? I have, okay, a plagiarism detector. I have Turnitin. I will scan your papers there and I will know if you will commit plagiarism. Sa Turnitin, nilalagay niya pa kung ilang percent at i-highlight niya pa yung mga words na plagiarize. So, don't me. Okay? Do not ever try me. Because if you'll get this grade and when your parents, no, will require an explanation as to why you had this grade, I would gladly explain to them the reason why. Because I warned you, do not ever commit plagiarism. Kasi it defeats the purpose of me constantly reminding you to not commit the act. Araw-araw ay parati ko kayong nire-remind all the time. Tinuruan ko pa kayo mag-cite. I reminded you that you should paraphrase. Walang kwenta yung mga tinuturo ko if magko-commit lang pala kayo ng plagiarism, 'di ba? At dinalian ko na yung output ninyo. So, again, the ultimatum for your output is that if you committed plagiarism, automatic, regardless of your scores, you will have a 75 grade in English. Okay? Kasi nga, you committed something that is unethical. I told you about it already. I warned you about it already. So, don't you ever do it. Magtulong-tulong kayo. Marami kayo sa group ninyo, magtulong-tulong kayo mag-avoid na mag-plagiarize. You understand? Or you can even scan your papers. May mga libre naman na plagiarism checkers na one-time trial, something like that, online. Try scanning your papers before you submit to me para you can make sure that you did not commit plagiarism. Okay? Alright, so that will be all. If you have questions, use our class GC. As for Duhat, I will be sending the soft copy of the sample paper na lang to you kasi kayo lang yung walang photocopy. Kayo naman, Pili, Banaba, and Bani, take photos of the sample paper and then i-upload nyo na dun sa GC. Kasi yung background of the study dyan, yan yung ginawa ko na pattern dito sa pinakita kong example. Saktong-sakto yan sa global context, national context, tapos yung local setting. Okay? Alright, if you have questions again, you can use our GC to ask questions or to clarify some things. But remember again, gawin yung mga pinapagawa ko ng mga activities. I'll check it whenever we see each other again, kung kailan man yon. Okay, I'll check it sa classroom. Lahat yun nasa notebook lang, di ba? Yung mga duhat na yung notebook ay nasa table ko pa rin hanggang ngayon, just put it in a piece of paper and then idikit na lang sa notebook ninyo. Alright, that will be all. Goodbye, everyone.